everyone. I'm running through the answers for transmission of heat worksheet question 9 onwards. Before I go through the answer again, a reminder that your answer should include these 4 points. Direction, indicate whether the heat is entering or leaving the object, whether rate, whether the process is faster or slower, thermal property, if the question involves material, then you will say that whether it's a good or poor conductor. If the question is asking for comparison between different types of surface, then you will have to write whether it's a good or poor absorber and emitter or emitter. Also include in the sentence, in the answers, whether this process is conduction, convection, or radiation. So as far as possible, use this as a guideline and make sure that you have them in your answers. So to make it easier for you, in my answer that you will see, there will be 4 different colors, and each color represent one of the pointers. So if you see anything highlighted in green, that means it is answering the part on process, okay, and so on and so forth. So yellow is property, thermal property, and blue is rate. So let's get started. The first question, I don't think I need to say very much. By now, you should know that the best absorber of heat or the best emitter, the best radiator, they all have the same property. So black, dull, rough, and large surface area. The worst radiator, which also can be a worst emitter, they all have the same property of being white or light color, shiny, small surface area. The next one, asking you to compare the temperature of a black and white car. Now, do note that they are comparing black and white car, so it's a comparison question. So this question is a comparison question. And when we are doing a comparison, you make sure you have comparison words. So I say that the black car has a hotter interior. So again, the word hotter is comparing, right? Black and white. And I said that black surface is a better absorber of heat. In this case, the car is parked under the sun, so they will be absorbing heat from the sun. And because you absorb more heat, so the black surface is a better absorber of heat, so they will be able to absorb more heat from the sun by radiation. So I've already covered all the 4 points. There's you can see the black car gains more heat from the sun, that's fine. Absorbs more heat from the sun, that's fine. Basically, you need to mention which direction is the heat traveling, okay? And of course, not to forget the process of radiation. Right, so let's move on to question 10. Question 10, you have 4 cans of hot water. So which one will cool the fastest? So in this case, heat will be emitted from all the 4 surfaces, so from all the 4 cans. And the can that will cool the fastest, in this case, the can that will cool the fastest will be is the can that emits the most heat. So we have to look for the best emitter. So we should know by now that the good emitters are the ones with rough and black surface. So I read it, and because I'm comparing 4, so again I use comparison words. So out of the 4, the rough and black surface is the best radiator of heat. So that's the thermal property. And because of that, it will lose heat by radiation at the fastest rate. So you lose heat, so this is talking about the direction, right? Heat is lost by radiation at the fastest rate, or you can just mention that it is the fastest in doing so. Question 11. So why can't the sun's warmth reach us by conduction or convection? The reason is because conduction, you will need the particles to vibrate and collide, as I've mentioned many times in class. So, so you need to first of all answer by telling the examiner how does a conduction process take place. So conduction means you need particles to vibrate and collide. Convection, you need the particles to move due to temperature, due to density difference. So basically, the important thing is the particles themselves must move. So then you say that because there are no particles at all in the vacuum, these two processes are not possible. Okay, so don't just say that there are no particles, so you cannot have conduction convection. You must also explain in what way does conduction require particles, in what way does convection require particles. The next question. Now, in this case, the hot plate transfer the heat through the base of the saucepan. Now, the base of a saucepan is a solid. So as I've mentioned in class, when heat travel through a solid, it will always be conduction. So you go through the base, so that's conduction. Inside the water, so that's convection, so hot water rise. And not to forget, the top part of the water is actually quite warm. So therefore, this hot water is going to heat up the air particles around at the top of the pan. And then the hot air will rise and carry some of the energy away. And that's why if you want the water to boil faster, you should then cover it so that the hot air is not able to rise and the heat can then be kept in the saucepan. Question 13. Okay, radiation is not ultraviolet, is infrared. You should know by now. This is vacuum. So once you have a vacuum, you cannot have conduction and convection. Only radiation can travel through a vacuum.